Hi folks, it's Coach Kelvin here from the We Run Virtual Run Club, and we run coach for Leeds and surrounding areas as well as online coaching. This is the third video on the subject of hydration, and I don't think a video series on hydration would be complete without talking about electrolytes. So the main electrolytes we think about are sodium, potassium, and magnesium, although there are quite a few more. The main one we focus on that will make a difference to sort of health and performance when we're running is sodium. So we are going to focus to a certain degree on sodium. So interestingly, I'd like to start with this. The UK guideline for salt is a maximum of 6,000 milligrams per day. And bearing in mind that salt is sodium chloride, so that has 3,600 milligrams of sodium and 2,400 milligrams of chloride. So something just to bear in mind is a lot of runners are mindful of their health and cook a lot of stuff from scratch. And if we're cooking from scratch, we do have to consider where is our sodium coming from. So we do need to make sure that if we're cooking from scratch, we're actually adding quite a bit of salt to our food. So in terms of how much sodium a runner loses when they train, the average is about 950 milligrams per litre of fluid loss through sweat, and the range is 800 to 1100 milligrams per litre. So that's the kind of amount that people are generally going to lose through sweat when they train. And sodium is important for fluid balance. It helps to maintain blood volume. It's important for nerve transmissions and muscle contractions. So as you can imagine, it is pretty important for us runners. So what we want to do is add sodium to any water consumed before, during and after training in the dilutions that I've just described. I'll also pop those in the description of the video for your convenience. And for the quantities of fluid that you need to consume, take a look at my last two videos. And also it is worth bearing in mind for longer runs or races, we can actually preload hydration and sodium. So the night before, we're probably going to do 500 milligrams of water with milliliters of water with 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams of sodium, and then do the same thing in the morning. And what we're trying to do there is increase our plasma volume in our blood, because that's where the sweat's going to come from, and that's one of the challenges when we get dehydrated. We sweat. We lose blood volume, so that increases the viscosity, the thickness of the blood, so it's more difficult for the body to get it to the tiny capillaries, and it's more difficult for the body to just pump it round and supply oxygen to the working muscles. So I hope that makes some sort of sense. And as I mentioned, like, hydration is probably the most important thing in your training, followed by sleep, followed by nutrition, before we start to think about the training stress. So it is absolutely critical that we get hydration right, and electrolyte balance within that hydration as well. So please let me know if you've got any questions by just popping them in the comments below. And for now, happy running!